Hey guys, so for this video I'll be unboxing Blackpink's Blackpink. This is their first mini album in Japan. It's been put into so many different editions. There was a repackage for this, and then there was a full-length album that included all the songs in here. Anyways, when it comes to Japan, YG just milks Blackpink to the little music that they have, and they re-release stuff. It's just absolutely ridiculous. But before I do start, I'll make a comparison to a jewel case. With this edition, this is the limited one. I wanted this one because it was a little bigger, and then it came with a separate photo book, but I'll talk about that later. But I will make it a comparison with the jewel case so you get an idea how big the album is. I will also be talking about my thoughts on this album and the songs and the packaging. So this is how big the album is compared to a jewel case. It is pretty big. Now, I initially thought this was going to be like a hard kind of box, but it isn't. It's like this really thin cardboard that can easily be damaged. And as you can see, let me show you, like, this is the top, the bottom, and there's a lot of boxes like this. If you keep opening this like this, it'll just eventually makes it crease. But that's just me being kind of picky, but yeah. So you get a photo book and a jewel case, thick jewel case. But that's about it. This can be removed, as you can see. There's nothing on the back. Yeah. But yes, so this is really just a jewel case in a very thin photo book, but I really just wanted this edition. I just preferred it from the other one. Yes, so let's get started with the photo book. And these pictures, let me see if I can get there closer. These pictures are so beautiful. They're mostly like behind the scenes for their first few music videos, like Whistle, BOOMBAYAH. Let's see. I don't know if it's just those two. Oh no, there's Stay. And I don't mind that they included behind the scene photos because I think they look absolutely stunning in these music videos. There's Playing with Fire. Now this is something that, like, I could have been without, like, yeah. But there are behind the scenes photos, so. And these are, that's from the Whistle music video, and that's it. It's a very, very small photo book, but if I ever want to look at Blackpink pictures, I can just do that. Then we got the jewel case, then we got a track list on the back. I'll just read it off. So you get BOOMBAYAH, Whistle, Playing with Fire, Stay, and As If It's Your Last. So you get their and Playing with Fire. So you get their first 4 singles, plus As If It's Your Last. So obviously the first 5 singles. Then you get Korean versions and then music videos for all of them. Yeah. Now let's open it. You know, this, and not necessarily like this kind of, like, the thickness of the jewel case reminds me of 21's Crush. Like, if you have that album. But they're just, they're completely different. But yeah, here's the disc. You get the black and the pink disc. And here are the lyrics. Let me get a little bit closer so you can see. So again, these are cute photos. You get lyrics for all the songs. And that's it's very short little thing. And advertisements, blank fandom stuff. And these are the Korean lyrics. So there really isn't much to see. It's just Korean lyrics. And there. So not much. There's not like nothing special. And I think these are translations for the songs. I don't know. Or just I don't know. But it has to do with the lyrics. Because there are Korean and Japanese versions of the songs. So, my thoughts. This is their first physical release ever. And I was a little bit hesitant about getting this because obviously this is a Japanese release. And I am not too fond of their Japanese versions because it just obviously they're Korean songs, so sometimes when you translate them or when you're trying to make a different version in a different language, you have to make it keep the flow of how the song goes, so like the melody and all of that, then make it kind of have the similar, if not the same meaning, and that just makes the songs sound sometimes a bit awkward to listen to, especially if you're used to listening to songs in Japanese, which is one thing in my case. I listen to some Japanese music, so, and then there is, at least for YG artists and especially for Blackpink, they add a lot of English into their songs in their Japanese version, so it just seems like it's half in English, half in Japanese. And some of the lyrics are not necessarily the best. I don't know who's in charge of making their Japanese versions, but it's just like, yeah, which is one of the reasons why I did not get their first studio album in Japan, which included all the songs in here, plus their first mini album, just the Japanese versions, and then the Korean track list. So all the songs in Japanese and all the songs in Korean. And that's technically their first studio album in Japan, which is just 2 mini albums, yeah, that were previously released just in Japanese. And then they have a Japanese version of Do 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 Do, and Jennie's iconic rap in Korean just sounds a little bit out of place when it's when it's written in English, or at least in the English that I was written. Like she says like something like a hummus, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, no, you cannot do poor Jennie like that. But I mainly got this because I absolutely love their first 5 singles, especially their last 3, Playing with Fire, Stay, and As If It's Your Last, are still among my favorite Blackpink songs. My favorite Blackpink song is As If It's Your Last. So I wanted to have it like on an album, but then they released it on their first mini album in Korea. But on the physical edition, it comes with As If It's Your Last. And I was not so pressed about getting this, but then I do love all the songs in here, and I wanted to have them on a physical CD. And I don't think YG is gonna release those Korean songs onto on their, I think, and I'm hoping, I think they're gearing towards a first studio album in Korea, and I'm not thinking that, and I hope they don't fill the song, like the album, with the first four singles, because that's just not fair for the girls, because that's already almost half of an album, because usually YG albums are really short when it comes to just track lists. Like usually they would go like 8 to 10 songs. So then adding 4 songs, and technically it's just yet another mini album for the girls. And yeah, so I wanted to have the songs. I don't think I'll listen to the Japanese versions of them, but there's a Korean versions, which is why I got this anyways. But the songs are absolutely fantastic. I think Playing with Fire is such an underrated song, even though it did extremely well in Korea. I think amongst their fandom, it's just not appreciated enough. That's just my opinion. I think it's just got overshadowed by Kill This Love and Do 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 and BOOMBAYAH, because those are more like go hard kind of dance tracks, while Playing with Fire is just much more mellow, and it's just, I just love it. I love it. And then Stay, yeah, that's the most underrated song they ever put out. I think it's such a nice song. Um, what else? Yes, just my overall thoughts, like I don't mind this. I put off from buying it because I thought YG was gonna release their first few singles in their first mini album or something like that, but I don't think that's ever really going to happen, since they just already released them in Japan. And hopefully they don't do that, because the girls deserve a full album with new songs. And yeah, now if they were to do a studio album with 10-12 songs, and then add the four let's add As If It's Your Last, the first 5 singles as bonus tracks, that would be amazing. But I feel like YG would not do that, because then they'll be like, oh, then people are not gonna buy this, and it's a loss of money, because like then the songs would already be in and out, like added to yet another album. And yeah, if I would only see them adding those first singles just to add songs to the release, without having to just have more than 6 songs. Yeah, I think that's like the only explanation that would really add the first 4 singles. And that's just me hoping that they were like, hey, let's just make this album even better. Let's add the first 4 singles. And yeah, but that's just me hoping things that will never really happen. But yes, I would only really recommend getting this for that reason. Now, if you do want to have all their first studio album, um, get the the Blackpink in Your Area, the Japanese album. But it's just Japanese albums in general are so expensive, which is why I also put off from buying this. I don't think I'll ever really buy anything that they put out in Japan, unless it's a similar case of what happened with these songs. And I love these songs so much. I was like, I needed to buy this. Like, it was always on my list every year since it came out, because it featured all the 5 songs. And then when As If It's Your Last was in it, I was like, okay, at least I have that song on the first mini album in Korea. And it was a total surprise, because it was like a hidden track. It's not, I don't think it's even on the track list. But yeah, if you have any other questions, please comment down below. I will be filming a Blackpink collection video, so if you're interested in that, I'll be filming it like very soon. I think after this video, I might just film that. They don't even have that many stuff. And yeah, let's just hope for the best for them for 2020. We get a studio. This is what I want before I leave. I want a studio album in Korea. I want a Rose actual original mini album or solo. Another mini album in Korea near the end of the year. And then an actual original Japanese single. That would be the perfect thing for Blackpink. And yes, but I feel like realistically speaking, when it comes to Japan, I don't think they're really ever going to release an original Japanese song, because YG's is just going to be cheap and going to release Japanese versions of their Korean songs. I feel like that's exactly what they're gonna do with their promotions in Japan. They've always done that basically with all of their artists for the most part. They just release Japanese version. They don't ever really release original Japanese songs, which is really sad. But it's very easy for YG artists to promote in Japan because there's a merge with Avex and YG. So it's pretty like the contracts are pretty much really easy when it comes to just releasing music in Japan because of that bridge. Anyways, that's it for my unboxing and my bit of rambling. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's hope that what I said comes true or somewhat comes true. Alright guys, bye.